What's up everybody, and welcome back to the channel. And yes, as the name suggests, we'll be looking at Noah's loot table today, as with the legendary patch being introduced this week, there have been some changes there, and you might be quite surprised to see what has happened with that. Now, firstly, I'd just like to thank the viewers on YouTube as well as my supporters on Discord for bringing this to my attention and also providing some footage and basically just, some feedback regarding this. But the hot take here is that you can now pretty much get all of the armor that's available to a specific character from Noah. So those that know, in the past I created two videos, there's one here and there's one here, that I basically did testing. And firstly, I started with the pyromancer and I did 100 tests where I essentially looked and saw how many or which legendaries basically dropped from Noah and which ones didn't, or dropped at such a super low percentage that it really wasn't worth trying to get them. And that basically allowed me to, after also testing all the other characters, create this table that's on the screen right now. Now that then allowed us to see that essentially, each class had 3 items from each legendary set which were possible to get, or which had a higher chance of dropping, and then there were 2 that in my case definitely never ever dropped. But of course there was feedback in the comments of people saying, you know what, I did see that, but again, the point is that testing it 100 times per character, I couldn't get those to drop on each one of the 4 characters that I tested on. So even if they were dropping, the percentage was so super low that they weren't dropping. Now at this point in time, I just like to refer to the patch notes themselves, actually, which are on screen right now, and we can look at specifically where the part is that actually probably causes this now to change, and for the loot table to essentially be updated. Now the part that I'm referring to is essentially here, where you can see the second point saying legendary level brackets have been removed so that all legendary items can drop at any level. Previously, some items could only drop from enemies of certain levels or above. For example, the Ukagi cowl could only drop from enemies of level 48 or higher. Now, what we can infer from this is that essentially Noah's loot pool was being governed by a similar thing, where it wouldn't drop certain items above a certain level. And that makes sense that, the Ukagi cowl, for instance, was one of the items that couldn't drop, or at least never dropped for me in all of my tests with the Trickster. So then, obviously I have been provided with proof in Discord and everything like that, but I thought, what, let me quickly jump on and just do a quick 10 test as well. Now, something that I just quickly want to mention here is that specifically on the pyromancer, which I tested, I've actually gotten all armor pieces to drop. So I have every single armor piece that's available, all legendary and everything else. So it's a little bit difficult to test whether the other thing which this patch has also introduced, which is essentially this duplicate protection or anti-duplicate protection system, is also helping you to get legendaries which you don't yet have. So it's entirely possible that when this legendary that you get from Noah rolls, that it could be also engaging the system and actually giving you something that you haven't gotten before. But this is kind of difficult for me to test, like I said, on the pyromancer, because I do have everything on there. But nonetheless, I did a quick 10 test, and lo and behold, on the 3rd item that dropped, I got Upper Robe of the Lava Lich, which was previously one of the 2 legendaries which I couldn't get in the 100 runs. So it definitely does seem this way. I have reports of people getting Ukagi's cowl from there as well. So it definitely seems that this patch change has essentially removed this level cap, and by removing this level cap, it has essentially opened up Noah's loot pool. Now, if I'm right that the anti-duplication system is also kicking in with this, then if you are literally missing like 1 piece or 2 pieces of armor, then this could be an extremely viable way for you to actually go and look for that 1 or 2 missing pieces, instead of actually farming expeditions. Because even though legendaries are dropping really fast in expeditions, 1 or 2 pieces could still be eluding you, and this could be an avenue for you to get that. All in all, I can say this is a fantastic change from their side, and it really does make this an option to chase down 1 or so piece that is eluding you, and I really think that that's a fantastic thing. Also, just in the 10 items that I did, the 10 quick checks that I did with Noah, In all honesty, I saw a lot less cannonball dropping as well. So only 2 of the 8 pieces were cannonball, where previously in the other tests that I've done, in some cases 6 out of 10 or 7 out of 10 would actually be cannonball. So whether they've actually pulled back a little bit on cannonball pieces dropping, or whether it's the fact that they've essentially removed this level capping, and that is kind of like leveled the playing field when it comes to legendaries dropping, and therefore, you know, given other pieces the same equal amount of chance to drop as cannonball pieces. That's again super difficult to test, but it really does kind of seem that way. So the bottom line, the update to Noah's pool is now essentially complete, I think. And I'm definitely not going to be doing 100 tests with each character again, anything like that, because this small sample size, as well as what I've, you know, basically seen in comments and also on Discord, leads me to believe that this is 100% the case. However, please go ahead and post in the comments down below if you've tested this and you are still not able to get a piece, but likewise rather on the same side, please also let me know if you suddenly get an Ukagi cowl or anything like that. So let's use this as a kind of like a crowdsource for information, and let's see if that is the case. But I would say 99.9% sure that you will now be able to get essentially any legendary armor piece from Noah's pool. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, especially if you watched until the end. Go ahead and hit subscribe if you enjoy videos like this, analytics like this, and this kind of approach to the game or any other game, because this is the kind of stuff that I bring to the channel. But the most important thing for me is have a fantastic morning, a great afternoon, and a super awesome evening wherever you are. And until next video, fucking cheers.